I don't know if I'm allowed to develop where it will, because it might just be too much for the internet at this level. It's just freaking me out. But I don't know where this is taking me. I am not in control of this paper. I am not in control of this paper. And it's not God, and it's not, you know, the forces of evil or what have you, in all seriousness. It's logic. The rules of logic are in control of this paper. I am, seriously, in a sense, in a weird sense, I am a vessel for the rules of logic to manifest in the world. And I have to be honest with the rules of logic, such that no matter what I believe to be the case, if it follows from the logic, I have to write it in that sense. So, you know, sometimes randomly, you know, I'll be on Facebook and I'll be writing while Facebook will be open on one screen, and I'll be in the middle of writing a book or an article on the other screen, and I'll make a random ridiculous post on Facebook like, "Please forgive me, world." "Please forgive me, world" is that I can't believe I just wrote that, but the logic had me write it. It follows. I have to go where it follows. I have to go where it follows, right? I'm not the type of person to sort of contain the facts, right? As always, right? The truth is the facts, and the truth. It's never going to conform, ever, never, to a theory. It's not about what I believe. The theory has to conform to the facts. Social scientist is a huge obligation for me, right? And I don't approach this job, obviously, you guys know that, and I'm overkilling it. I mean, this is insane. This lecture series is insane. To even post this publicly is insane. But, you know, it's not about what I believe. It's about what I have to say. Because I've opened myself to the rules that govern logic, and it writes the paper. Seriously. So, I know it's some... That's why I said there's some black magic evil crap going on. I don't know what. But, you know, I'm open. So you have to train yourself to see the implication of what is not directly stated and build on these latencies. This is the extraction point that you bring out, appropriation of new logic, flesh out, that I drew before. In the citation above, it latently makes the connection between population growth and the strain that population growth places on the water table. This is a conditional claim. To the people who are arguing on the first video about how this stuff came about, sequential claims and temporal claims, like dominoes knocking over, can be explained by physicists, but they can also be explained by social scientists, because logic also defines that. It's not inseparable, right? There really isn't an inseparability between the logic and the physics. It's just a different mode of approaching the same thing. And if both scientists, the social scientists and the physical scientists, approach that subject matter honestly and allow their training to describe the subject matter without any bias, that's the beauty of all of this. But it's hidden, it's latent, it's buried. This association between population and growth and the strain that population growth puts on water table is something that I had no idea when I first began this, that I would arrive at this point. The logic drove me to this. I found it. Now I have an obligation to write about this, because the logic presented it to me. You know, I put in the search terms, crap. No, I didn't write this citation on population growth and water levels. You know, and here I am now having to identify that relationship, the nature of that relationship, and I'm going to have to stick with new rules of inference in order to deconstruct this and augment that when I get to section 3, and we'll expand this even more. But right now the idea is I had no idea I would arrive at this, and now that I'm here, I can't then discard this. No, that's not my style, right? I don't believe in that, sort of that delete button. I don't really use that. The logic put me here. I have to force myself to try and make an account of this, right? I have to do it because the logic mandates that I do it. I think that's honest. I think that's the best type of honest academic research, is that unwavering sort of, that unwavering obligation to commit yourself to rules. That's what it's, for me, that's what it's about, period. I'm gonna, you know, I don't want to freak everybody out. I'm sort of zoned out on that, but it's true. It is essential that you train yourself to see these connections. We can then use this fact to augment our example, yet again, by now gradually shifting our focus because the logic demands it, to analyzing the relationship between population growth and the water table. There's another connection. We're going to, and what ends up happening, and what's so cool about this, is we started with watering our lawn. It was this ridiculous, we started with watering our lawn, and we took the idea of watering our lawn to the picture that I drew between conservation efforts and decreased levels, to all talking to the relationship between population growth and strain on the water table. All of this, the logic is, with each new section, it gets deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. You love this. I love it. It's such a cool feeling. It's such, you know, that's why I'm here doing this right now, because it is the coolest. There's no other way to describe it for me than magic. There's no other way to describe this feeling. It's magical to have an ability to do this, and I have to share this with other people. I could not go to my grave not sharing this, and we're, you know, hour and 40 minutes in, and I really do hope that, you know, people who just wanted to see a show have dropped out, and I know statistically that the reduction of the population and the viewership decreases as we get in. But, you know, this is it. This is it. Like, if you're going to be a researcher, if you're going to be an actor, and give me a shout out. I want my damn shout outs. When I'm old and gray, I want some shout outs, damn it. This is a huge contribution. This is not, you know, and I'm not tooting my own horn, but I also read too much Nietzsche and too much Rand to be all passive and humble. Right? The idea is, do it. Don't worry about perfection. Don't worry about this being flawless. But good God, this is more powerful than, you know, this is more powerful than a 5-paragraph essay. Not knocking people, because, I mean, shout out to Miss Evans. I'm going to give Miss Evans a shout out. Shout out to Miss Evans, because she was my English teacher and she taught me about the 5-paragraph essay. So I guess technically I wouldn't quite be here without Miss Evans, my high school teacher. So shout out to her. She gets a shout out. See, everybody, you got to give the shout outs, right? You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it funky. We can then use this fact to augment our example. Yet again, by now, gradually shifting our focus because the logic demands it, to analyzing the relationship between population growth and the water table. Remember, we had no idea that this is where the analysis would take us, but the logic has undeniably guided us to this discovery. Period. Period. Right? I did not know, you did not know, neither of us knew that the logic was going to get us to this point. The logic got us to this point. You can't say, I don't like that relationship, I'm going to discard it and use something else. That's being a coward. That's taking an easy way out. No, wow, now I got to go there. Yep, I got to go there, and we're going to continue to write on it because the logic says that we have to write on it. It's not about me. It's about these rules, and these rules mandate that I do that, and I'm a vehicle for the rules to manifest in the world. So that's what I do in this world, right? That's what it's about. Page number 9. So, example, again. Now, remember, first example, first sentence is in all black. We augment example number 1 with example number 2. Example number 1 is embedded into in black, and example number 2 is red. Now, once we finish example number 2, all of example number 2 now becomes black, which has both example number 2 and example number 1 embedded in it. I did a non-monotonic video where I talk about sequencing and sequential relationships, so there is another level of logic to this that I just can't discuss. It would just take this to a whole nother freaking abyss. And it doesn't require that I discuss it. So there's a deeper structure governing this lecture. There really is. But now example number 1 and 2 is embedded as black, and the final edition, because I said at the beginning I'm going to give 3 examples for each, the final edition is in red. So let's see. So everything's basically the same, right? Everything's basically the same. So let's just read the red. This is middle of page 9. Thus, in the preceding example, water conservation efforts have failed. Like, right, this is a bracket, like example number 3, in the appropriation of modus ponens, we have effectively